So the FBI now offering a $10,000 reward for any info leading to the arrest of the former police chief and convicted killer Grant Harden. Meanwhile, officers searching cars, cabin, and caves to find the so-called devil in the Ozarks who escaped the Arkansas prison. But what goes into a manhunt for a high-risk fugitive who has a law enforcement background? Here to help break it all down, private investigator Toby Braun. Toby, thanks so much for joining the program. Good morning.
Morning, Lawrence. Thanks for having me on.
So, Toby, this makes it very complicated when you know someone that knows the lingo of law enforcement, knows the taxes of law enforcement. That's why this case is so complicated, right?
Correct. Yeah. This guy is a pro. I mean, obviously, he's a complete disgrace to the badge he once wore for 30 years. But nevertheless, he knows the tactics. He knows how cops think. He understands grip patterns and perimeters. And police response to a fugitive, and that's just what's making it so much more challenging here.
Toby, do you suspect he has help on the outside as well?
Well, I certainly think it's possible. I mean, the question is, how was he able to get that clothing into the prison? Is that something he was able to obtain from the inside, or is that something that was smuggled inside the prison for him? And then the question is too is, there's certainly policies within the Arkansas Department of Corrections need to be looked at here and possibly overhauled. But the question comes in too is, how come a guard let a guy wearing all black pushing a wheelbarrow out of the front gate, and how was he able to get that far in the first place in a medium security facility? So could he have gotten help? I think it's certainly possible. That there's no indicators of that right now, but it's certainly possible, yes.
Toby, my main concern is when someone has, just like all fugitives, it doesn't matter if he's a former cop or not, but when a fugitive has nothing to lose, because he's probably going to be in prison for the rest of his life now, maximum security prison, it could end very dangerously, right?
Correct, very dangerously. And this guy has, like you said, nothing to lose. He's looking at a minimum another 50 years, and at this point now, with the added charges for escape, I mean, he'd never see the light of day again. This guy is he's a murderer, he's a rapist, he's a sociopath, and I firmly believe that he's not going to go down without a fight. So I don't see him getting out of this alive.
You know the saying that the worst thing for good cops is a bad cop, and all good cops hate bad cops. Are you surprised that he stayed under the radar for so long? Because it seems like a lot of folks knew he was dirty.
I'm very surprised by that. Yeah, absolutely. And surely with this new DNA, with new advances in DNA technology and forensics, he was able to be found. And as the devil of the Ozarks, as the individual who raped that poor woman back in the 90s. But, nevertheless, this guy wasn't just a rapist and a murderer. He was definitely a dirty cop. He was a complete disgrace to the public. He served to the law enforcement community. And that just, it obviously opens a whole other door of questions as to why this guy has been able to fly under the radar for so long, and how come nothing has happened. So
true. A lot of insight there, Toby. Thanks so much for joining the program.
Thanks again.
If you got any information, please contact FBI or the local police as well to catch this guy.